for Now This Week, the Automotive Sports Network, alongside me, Dylan Baadte, as our friends at High Voltage Media Productions have decided to move compounds in the middle of the race weekend. As Dylan, it's going to be fairly exciting. We know how much different this track is, but yet it's basically the same place.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really about the track has changed that drastically, except that the start finish line's in a completely different place, which really, is going to affect the way these guys handle getting into that corner, which used to be one and two, now three and four. I think it's going to be fun to watch tonight. I've already been seeing some interesting stuff in practice, seeing people try out a couple different lines. So hopefully we get some good racing out of it tonight.
As we'll take a look really quick at our schedule here for the Solstice ProLine Cup Series, as obviously week 2 we are at the ISM Raceway. Next week, Texas, Valkenburg, Milwaukee, Lucas Oil. Down in Indianapolis, we go to Denver. So there's the next couple weeks are going to be fairly unique, fairly interesting racetracks. But I mean, we have to get through today, and I have to say, I've been watching through practice. We're a little bit delayed here tonight because the setup of these cars isn't the greatest. A lot of people have been spinning out and losing control.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a hectic practice session. Seen a couple cars bump into each other trying to get into the corner. One will just lose it a little bit, little contact. Nothing major, but definitely something to keep an eye out for tonight. Some of these cars don't seem to be maybe as stable as these guys want them to be, especially getting into the corner.
As last week's winner, Dylan Smith from the CRI Super Speedway on tentative pole position right now. Then it's Joey Bailey at a 26.762, so 100th of a second difference. As Brian Mercurio, actually, we just checked the entry blanks, has made his first start this season, 26.835. Jake Poulin, Jeremy Stanley, Dylan Poteet, Chris Wetz, Frisch, and then Cosman and Kyle Riley. Riley's also making his first start since, I believe, I want to say Indianapolis last season. Looks like
Yeah,
Mercurio actually is deputized for Adam Kodal in the 33.
yeah. I was gonna say Mercurio out here in the old Adam Kodal team, and Kyle Riley also sporting a new number I noticed here. And I don't really like to talk about Indianapolis because I feel like I sent some bad juju that poor guy's way by picking him as my guy in the middle of the race, and things didn't work out. So, Kyle, we're gonna try to tone it down a little bit tonight and be quiet when you're doing well. I'm not gonna put the hex on you this time, bud.
This whole time in the pre-show, I was wondering, why are you mentioning not talking about him? And then I realized that you guys were talking and hyping him up throughout that Indianapolis race weekend, and there it went. As we were into happy hour now here, gentlemen, and if we look through our entry list, 10 cars qualified. We've got Chad Mikas, Cole DeRozier, Nick Baker. So 13 cars. No Brandon Lambert tonight due to previous commitments, along with no Cody Erdman. So our two guests from last week are not here, but not necessarily a bad thing. They will get some provisional points so they can stay in the championship fight. But I think the big story here, I mean, we saw Frisch last season just go on a tear at Nazareth. Nazareth's kind of the same layout, kind of as Phoenix. Will we see the same thing today?
Yeah, that's also something I was picking up on in practice is when he got behind cars, he ran them down, he got around them, and he made it look kind of easy. Didn't really see him too much in by himself, but definitely when he's behind a car, he's all over him within a few laps. So it'll be I want to watch him tonight, especially if he's not right at the front to begin. He's going to be fun to watch cutting up through the field.
As currently in happy hour so far, Dylan Poteet at 27.004. I have to say, it's going to be very, very tricky. This track obviously was reconfigured, not so much track surface wise, but the start finish line was moved from its previous location of 30 plus years on that front straightaway. That's now the backstretch, and you'll notice that the grandstands are gone. They moved it all to, they basically flipped the track. And the big grandstand through what is now 3 and 4, where start finish is, they moved the pit lane forward into the infield. I don't think it drives different, but it certainly feels different, obviously, to these drivers.
Yeah, I don't think it's really too much different as far as the approach. You just, maybe towards the end of the stage or the end of the race, you might see them try a few things new just to try and get a better run off for it. But I think, during the runs, if the cars are all settled in, everything will be pretty much normal compared to what you're used to seeing at a place like this.
As we take a look, actually, once the graphic decides to load up on my end, the two stages tonight, so we're going to go 93 laps. The first stage, or the only stage break, I should say, is at at the end of lap 35. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys are going to go on fuel and tires. We know that Phoenix, at least I believe, is not the greatest on tires.
Yeah, definitely going to be something to watch. I've seen a lot of these guys 3, 4, 5 laps into a run at happy hour just have the back end of the car come out around them, or the car just plow getting in. So it definitely seems like tire wear and the way you take care of them throughout the run is going to be really important, especially if we get things flag run.
As let's take a look actually at our happy hour leader right now. It's actually Kyle Riley in the 77. He's down on pit lane. As it looks like, we are beginning the gridding process here at the ISM Raceway.
To your cars.
And like we mentioned, on pole position, car number 1, Dylan Smith, last week's winner from the CRI Super Speedway. Alongside him is the guy he defeated, Joey Bailey, in car number 51. Second row of the grid is Brian Mercurio and Jake Poulin. Third row of the grid is Jeremy Stanley with Dylan Poteet. Fourth row is Chris Wetz and Michael Frisch. Fifth row is Cosman with Kyle Riley. Then it's Chad Mikas, Cole DeRozier, and on the final row of the grid, row number 7, is last season's Charlotte winner, Nick Baker. As the Adam Codal paint scheme, car number 33, we haven't seen that, I believe, since Daytona last season. Certainly nice to see.
Yeah, definitely nice to see. Be a little cool. Adam is showing up too because there's one we recently had painted for him, designed up from my end. I also do a little car design on the side. I had designed one up for him similar to the traditional NASCAR M&M scheme. Would have been cool to see two of the Skittles cars out here duking it out.
As we rev up the engines here in Avondale, Arizona, not a long run to the green flag. We are lining up on the back straightaway. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a duel all night long, I have to think, between Dylan Smith and Joey Bailey, but we know that defending champion Michael Frisch is a monster at these short racetracks. As we go through 3 and 4 to begin the second round of the 2019 B Championship, this is going to be an absolute good one. Looks like we do have a full pace lap, unless green flag, pace car decides to stay on the track, so that's a little odd for us, but we take the green flag here in Arizona.
What a time.
As Mercurio gets a run into turn 1, Kyle Riley in the apron in the 77.
Ooh, Dylan Smith powering back on the outside, making it stick. We're going to have a good run off the back stretch here.
But down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Dylan Smith on the outside really pushes it hard in car number 1, but the 33 of Mercurio almost had Codal there, fighting back on the inside. Dylan Smith will lead the first lap. You see Joey Bailey way down on the apron in the 51. That is legal, and he's trying to get the gap on car number 33. He's on the apron in the corner, Dylan. I didn't think that would help you.
Yeah, I really didn't think that would stick, but he seemed to have made it work. Oh, maybe he's just trying to be a little aggressive here and give it all he's got before these guys kind of spread out and settle into this run.
But he did get some ground on Mercurio there in the 33. A couple cars in the back of the shot. It's Poteet, Poulin, Frisch, and Wetz in the 71. They're all struggling in the Hornet's Nest there. Jeremy Stanley in the 60.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else saw, but I did catch out of the corner of my eye in that coming through old and 4 on the last lap. The 31 car seemed to get a little loose on the apron and kind of stack them up there. That seems why we have such bad mess.
3 wide for the lead. Looks like Dylan Smith had a terrible run out of turn 2. And Mercurio short tracking on the outside, and Bailey did the lead in the 51.
Yeah, it looked like the one car was a little sideways too there. What an exciting corner for these guys. And Joey Bailey took advantage, and it looks like he's going to try and go off to the races like we've seen him do so many times last season when he showed up.
I have to say, Dylan Smith's a little confused. NASA Rallycross starts in a couple weeks. You are not in a NASA Rallycross car right now. And Joey Bailey's got a car length and a half lead over car number 1. These two, like we mentioned, were battling all day long last week at CRI Super Speedway in Alabama. And Joey Bailey's just as fast as Frisch, and you cannot let him pull away.
No, not at all. But I just want to say, it's very refreshing to see Dylan Smith up here in the front. Seemed to have kind of an off and on year last year and kept getting caught up in some unfortunate stuff. And, to come back and get the win and be here again, battling it out for the lead in week 2, it's looking like he might be off to the start he needs to contend for another championship.
As Stanley ran it deep into turns 1 and 2, Poulin in the 21 tried to take the fight to him, couldn't get it done. Exiting turn 4 here on lap number 5, beginning lap number 6. Mercurio goes to the inside of Dylan Smith. Now, these two, way back in the day, were teammates together in NASA. I don't think there's any love lost between these guys, so we should see a great battle between them. Side by side, Poulin, along with Jeremy Stanley, 21 and 60.
And that's another guy to watch is Stanley. You know, we talked about how Frisch started going on that initial tear at Nazareth last year. How this is a similar track, but Stanley wasn't here at that part of the year, so he could be a factor today too. He's shown time and time again since he made his return that he's here to win and put pressure on these guys.
And side by side still, Mercurio with Dylan Smith. Mercurio not giving up on Dylan Smith, but these guys, and we've said this in so many races, so many announcers have said this, you're going to battle side by side and you're going to lose the leader. This is not what you need to do this early in the race.
No, not at all. And you see, it looks like Dylan might have lifted a little bit there to the corner a little higher to kind of split them up and get them back in single file form so they can run this 51 car back down.
As
Oh,
Mercurio
33, a little bobble.
got a little loose there.
Ooh, scary, scary. See, it seems like these tires, they're really not holding up. Like I said, here we are 6, 7 laps into the run, and they seem like in the middle of the corner and the end speed, these cars just aren't quite settled.
And let's take a look. If we look at the timing and scoring right now, it's 1.1 seconds from Bailey to Smith, and Mercurio is a tenth down on that, and Jeremy Stanley's got a better run on both of these guys in the 4th position.
Yeah, what a run through the center of the corner. Stanley creeping into the picture here and doing it with the quickness all of a sudden.
As now, Bailey's still pulling away. This is a hornet's nest for second on back. Smith,
Oh,
Mercurio, Stanley.
Stanley with a big run off of the turn. Switched lanes and got on the side by side with the 33.
As Bailey, Dylan Smith, Mercurio, Stanley, Poteet, Frisch, Kyle Riley, Chris Wetz, Poulin, Mikas, Cosman, Cole DeRozier, and Nick Baker. As just want to say our apologies if there's some graphic issues tonight. We do have a new director doing a great job. It's his first time doing it, as Mr. Dylan Livingood, like we said, and Brandon Nicholson decided to move in the middle of race weekend. So hopefully you guys have been able to tune in and enjoy so far on lap number 11 of 97 here in Phoenix. Joey Bailey already coming up on Nick Baker. So Baker has been struggling for these first couple races. They changed the control panel in that car number 9, a different control interface, and he has not gelled with it at all. Breaking the fourth wall here a little bit. We know Nick Baker races on a keyboard for years and years and years, and he was great with it, but he just got his wheel, and it's not helping him as he has that long learning curve to get used to.
Yeah, and I can tell you from firsthand experience in that scenario, it is not easy. I went from, sorry to break the wall again a little bit, but I went from controller to wheel many years ago, and it was a big culture shock. I mean, I got lucky and I got a win pretty early, but it was at a 1.5 mile high speed place for you to do alive, and that transition is not easy. A lot to learn, a lot to take in, and I'm sure by the middle of the season we'll see Baker back up here mixing it up with these guys.
As Dylan Smith, Mercurio, Stanley, side-by-side Poteet with defending champion Michael Frisch in the 58. Frisch, I'm a little worried for him. Dylan Smith as well. Smith has dropped 2 positions in the last couple laps. And Frisch, if I look on my monitor here, fastest laps of 26.988. Frisch has a 27.146. Granted, that's less than 2/10 of a second, but everybody is running this lap time.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking for me to see Frisch running such a high lap time too, because in practice he was running almost 3 tenths faster than that on some of his shorter 5 or 6 lap runs he was doing there. So something to keep an eye on there. Maybe some of the changes that they've made on that car just aren't working the way they want them to.
As deeper in the field, Chris Wetz battling with Cosman in the 24 and Chad Mikas in the 25, the Chicago native. As Chad was unable to race last week at CRI Superspeedway, but we know Alex Russell had a hell of a run in that Chevrolet. Came back from 3 laps down, nearly won the damn thing. As Mike is back in the hot seat for the 25.
Yeah, for sure. Nice to see Chad back here in the car, but great job, great effort by the team last week. The 25 or whatever number it's donned with at any given, always been proven to be really strong at a plate track. Their plate program and engines are definitely top notch. It's good to see that car shine a little bit.
I was going to try and roast you about how you don't know his number, but I have to agree that Chad runs any number. You don't even know what number
Yeah,
it is
I
until he
mean
gets to the
one
track.
one year it's 8, then it's 25, then it's 2,
Then it's
and it's
9.
yeah, it's always up and down with Chad. He likes to mix it up on us, make our job a
I
little
see on
difficult.
his as Looks like Jeremy Stanley down pit lane, Kyle Riley down pit lane. Are we seeing green flag pit stops early? I wasn't sure when these guys would pit.
I feel like a lot of them have kind of seen that this is going to be a nice, settling in race. A lot of these guys here are long-time racers. We don't have a lot of new faces. All these guys, competent guys. I feel like they know this is probably going to go green until it gets a little dicey at the end. So why not try and get ahead on the strategy here? Maybe pick yourself up a stage win and get some bonus points.
As remember, you do get 5 points for winning the stage, and then it goes down to 1 for 5th place, and those points carry you through until the playoffs. In that playoff format, it's incredible. I don't think we have the graphic loaded up this week, but 7 races. The wild card at Daytona locks the top 8, and then you go 3 races until you get the last 5, or sorry, top 12, then 10, then 5. And then it's an all-out brawl for the last 3 races. And we've seen last season how you can go being Chris Wetz, for example, not winning a race and getting so close to winning the championship.
Yeah, it's a crazy experience to watch. Just showing that consistency can still be king even in this day and age. And the wild card being in Daytona, that's going to be exciting. These wild card races keep falling on some of the most exciting tracks they could be at. I'm sure we'll see the Alabama gang as the regulars call them, the guys that show up just for the plate tracks. I'm sure they'll be there to make it interesting. And I don't know if I'm really supposed to say anything yet, but I have been working with the guys on getting a car prepared to attempt to be an in-race reporter and run at least a few laps at Daytona, just to give everybody a new inside look at how things are going during the race.
As that's going to be interesting. I knew we had talked about it off air, but if it's materializing, that's going to be pretty exciting. Green flag pit stops are happening. These guys are trying to pit as early as they potentially can. Poulin and Mikas in the 25. I noticed that Frisch kind of slid it through turns 3 and 4, and not good for the defending champion. He was on the inside of Dylan Smith, and it puts him back a couple places. As we look through the rotation of pit stops, Mercurio, Dylan Smith, Cosman, Poulin, unless timing
Looks
hasn't
like everybody
updated.
else is coming down.
Timing,
Mercurio and the one and pulling off.
Mercurio, Dylan Smith, Cosman, Mikas, Wet's the top 5. Then everybody else is off the lead lap. So this is leaving, looks like Cosman in the lead, but he is much slower than Poulin. We know these tires fall off as Cosman rotates through to the lead, and he's clutching. He's on a different strategy.
Yeah,
I don't
Cosman's
think
doing
he's going to
something
pit.
different here. I think he's going to try and stretch it too. I was just thinking, I think Cosman's trying to play the old strategy game on him here tonight.
We know what he did in Pensacola at 5 Flags, and he did up in Canada, was a different strategy. And you've got to do something when you're in the back of the field. And we know Cosman's great on saving fuel.
Yeah, Cosman's always been really good. One of the more efficient fuel savers I've ever run with or ever seen, for that matter. It's always fun to watch him when he comes up with a strategy, because if he comes up with an idea and he likes it, he's dedicated, man. He's not jumping off of it. He's gonna make it work.
Exiting the pit lane, Mercurio and Dylan Smith. As Chris Wetz in third. Mikas is closing up with Cosman. Joey Bailey in 8th, tentatively, technically 1 lap down. Everything has not cycled through yet. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think those guys who pitted early caught everybody off guard, because it seemed like a bunch of them immediately tried to jump on pit road quick to try and not get too far behind on the strategy cycle.
And let's take a look here. As Dylan Smith around, entering pit lane. For the CRI Super Speedway winner, loops it, nearly got into his
Oh,
teammate Cole DeRozier. They actually
DeRozier's
jammed
around
into.
on pit lane. Yeah, they did make contact. Oh, not good for those guys. But
And the
main Toyotas.
number one rule in racing, Dylan, is never touch your teammate. And that just
Yeah,
came
not.
together.
Oh, bad time, bad time. That's unfortunate for those guys. Hopefully, there's not a lot of damage. They can get those Toyota Camrys back out on the track. So I think they're the only Toyotas here tonight. So definitely don't want to see them both taken out of contention this early, especially with how fast the one is.
As we know that Brandon Lambert's probably not happy due to what just happened if he's watching our broadcast here, as both of his team cars just wrecked each other entering pit lane. And Dylan
Yeah, I
Smith still
honestly,
trying to get going. I don't know if I'll have to take a look on my monitor. He tried to get to pit lane again and spun it again.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe his tires are just completely shot, and they were just hot from spinning out the first time, and that's why it came around again. But unfortunate for him. Horrible timing for something like this to happen. Hope he can get a rebound tonight. I'm hope for Brandon's he's not watching the broadcast. He'd be ripping his hair out as a car owner right now.
So we take a
Oh
look.
no! Again!
He spun it the third time. Oh, he did.
Oh no! I believe he's gonna get in without any other cars being involved, but unfortunately, some more damage to the side of that car. Once again, gonna have to go around.
And I don't know. This day has gone from bad to horribly worse. There's nothing in between bad and worse. Micus and Cosman still haven't pitted, nor has Wetz. Interestingly,
Chad's
there,
pulling in now.
as Micus pits in the 25, they are 20 seconds ahead of the field, basically a lap.
Oh, don't forget about Wetz. Wetz is still out there too. He's only about a second behind.
Oh, we know that the 71 can get it done if he's staying out, but there's just
Yeah,
so much stuff going on.
Yeah, just a really kind of a strange sequence of events here. These last couple laps, like we entered the Twilight Zone or something, man. We
As
are out here in the desert. Maybe the aliens.
Cosman leads Wetz, who leads. It'd be Bailey then in third, unless Chad got out of the pit lane. No, Chad has not gotten out of the pit lane. And I think Bailey has gotten by. So Bailey's back in third. He's 18.6 seconds behind the race leader. It's interesting that Cosman's not cutting the dog leg, but Wetz is in the 71.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Cosman isn't either. He was earlier, and I did notice once it looked like he pulled up a little early where there was more embankment and the car bounced a little bit. Maybe he's trying to avoid damaging the car and just trying to take it easy and get to the end of the stage here. As we only have, I believe, after this, about 4 laps to go.
As one on the wall, it's Baker on the inside. Caution is out as we are racing back. It's Cosman, Wetz. They have taken the caution flag. Joey Bailey. This is interesting because Frisch, Micus, they're off the lead lap. And we can finally put this very strange sequence to bed and re-rack the field.
Yeah, honestly, this may be saving grace for some people, but way to go, Cosman and Wet. Stay out and have everything fall their way. These guys may have an advantage now. Get fresh tires and start back up in front of these guys.
So let's take a look and see. I'll look on my monitor while they're pitting here to see what happened to Baker and the 9. And then hopefully we can pick that up on the live feed. But it looks like he just lost it in 3 and 4. And we talked about how Baker's been struggling for the last couple weeks, and that's exactly what happened. So Baker's in the pit lane. Everybody leaving the pit lane now. And I think we're slowing them down here because we want to get back going under green for the stage. So we're going to wait until this whole field catches back up. So technically, I want to say Joey Bailey is the leader.
Yeah, at the current moment, I'm not sure until we cross the timing and scoring update, but at the moment, it looks like the 51 is back to P1.
I think we are going back green here shortly. As Bailey, Kyle Riley, Cosman, Wetz, Poulin, Poteet, Mercurio. And then it's Stanley, Micus, Frisch, Baker, Dylan Smith.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think Mike might have. Oh no, everybody's back on the lead lap now.
Let's see if we're going back green. I haven't heard anything from the director. We are back going green.
We are green.
Here in Phoenix, Bailey leads Kyle Riley, Cosman, Poulin, and now Mercurio in 5th, but they're 3 wide between the 25 of Micus, the 71 of Wetz. Wetz is loose in the middle, Poteet on the outside. Wetz is around, so the man from Texas loops it in the 71. I think we're going to be racing it back to the end of the stage. If he can get it back going, there's going to be no caution. As we see on the outside, Poulin in the 21. On the outside of Bailey as we take the white flag in the first stage.
Poulin might get a run on the outside here. Yeah, it's going to be interesting going into 1 and 2.
Poulin dives it in hard in turns 1 and 2. He technically led the lap, beginning lap 35. Bailey, as Micus is around the 25, 3 wide per second. It's Poteet on the outside, huge run from the Miller Lite car. And
What a
Cosman dives
move.
it in
31.
as Poteet tries. Cosman spins in front of Bailey as Poulin
Oh
wins
no,
stage
big
one.
trouble. Oof, that was an exciting 2 laps. I don't think I was ready for that. Way to go with the number 21 to power it in on the outside and make it stick off the corner
It was a
and to
huge
take
run
the
for
spin.
Poulin.
It was a dominating power move to the outside. Super impressive to see. Same for the 31 who kind of followed suit about a half a lap later and made his move up to second. What an exciting finish. Now we get to do it all again.
As there's some transponder issues with Frisch and DeRozier. Frisch is back on track. DeRozier is not, as DeRozier has retired in car number 23.
Yeah, unfortunate that happened to those guys. Only a couple of LMP cars show up here tonight, hoping they'd have a better run than that. It's just bad luck bug strike at any given time.
Let's see. Bailey's in the pit lane. He's the only one pitting.
Yeah, I think he didn't really have much of a choice there after he got up under the back end of Cosman when he lost it a little bit on 3 and 4 on that final lap. Probably just a little safety pit stop to check on the car cosmetics to make sure everything's okay and get back out there.
Let's take a look. Bailey's exiting the pit lane. Everybody pits here on lap 37. As Poulin leads Poteet, Mercurio, Kyle Riley, Jeremy Stanley. Dylan Smith stays out, but he is 2 laps down for car number 1, not having a good day. As Cosman, everybody pits. I have to say that I really like the redesign of the ISM Raceway, but I honestly feel like they could have reprofiled the track in some form.
Yeah, I felt like it was really made like it was going to be a massive deal. Not that it wasn't. I mean, it was on par with the Daytona Rising project, the way they took and completely reorganized the grandstands and made it a immensely better fan experience, which is awesome. But I mean, the track probably could have used a little love. You didn't have to go extreme, but you could have done some things here and there to jazz it up, maybe make it a little more exciting for the fans that are enjoying their new fan experience. Not that I'm not a fan, just I feel like maybe there's some things that could have been addressed.
As technically leading right now is Brian Mercurio in the 33. Once again, pit stops are a little jumbled up as we try and get everything reorganized to re-rack them and go for stage 2. And I'm really impressed with the pace of this race. If we look at the average mile an hour on timing and scoring, 112.386 miles an hour average speed around a mile racetrack. I wish I could do
Yeah,
that on the interstate, but that's a tad illegal.
yeah, that unfortunately the state troopers, highway patrol are not fans of that. I also wish I could do the same, especially for my move coming up next week, halfway across the country. I'd love to be able to go that fast down the freeway.
As it looks like we are 1 lap to green here in Avondale, Arizona. It's going to be Dylan Poteet, looks like, unless timing and scoring, unless is Bailey 1 lap ahead? I'm not really sure what's going on with the 51. I don't think he is. I think he pitted to top off. So this is going to put Poteet into the race lead. Mercurio second, Stanley third, Cosman fourth. 5th is Micus, 6th is Wetz, 7th is Poulin, 8th is Frisch, 9th is Bailey's. Once again, it's Dylan Baadte and Josh Mertz in the commentary box for the Automotive Sports Network today, as we replaced our colleagues on HVMP as they decided to do a move in the middle of the race. As Poteet and Mercurio will lead us to the green flag here in Avondale, Arizona. Green flag.
And we know these restarts have been exciting all night. And here we go. Let's see what kind of strategy plays out here.
Into turn 1. Poteet leads Mercurio. And there's no contest for the lead.
Bailey
Mercurio
way
holding
on
it.
the apron. What a move. And he makes it stick.
Is it working?
Oh my, he was a lane and a half under the yellow line in 1 and 2. I've never seen anything like that.
Mercurio glued to the apron, glued to the yellow line. Remember, the yellow line is legal here in Phoenix. It's not like a super speedway, and everyone makes their own groove. And Mercurio had helped him going into turn 1.
Wow, what a close run at the line for the lead there for the first two rows for third and for first. Oh, amazing racing right here to open this second stage.
But I remember something. I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Elliott Sadler in the Xfinity Series. This was 2011, 2012. They cut the apron and got wadded up in turn 1 or turn 3 at that time because you can't get the angle into the corner. And I'm worried that that's going to happen with these guys.
Yeah, I think maybe in 3 or 4 laps it'll be something that you won't be able to do, but I just think that first, lap, tires are still a little cool. You can kind of try to get in there and get everything out of it and make it stick. But I don't think it's something you'll see him try again. I think it was more of a power move to get back ahead some of the ground he lost by topping off.
As it's 3 wide, now 4 wide with Bailey, Micus, Frisch, and Kyle Riley and Micus had to back out of that, getting loose. Riley to the inside of the 51 of Bailey.
Oh, car into the wall hard back
One
there.
around, it's Poulin and Wetz in the back of the field. Caution is out on lap 43.
Yeah, Wetz hit the wall head on the outside wall. It looked like he got something happened and car just turned right off the exit and hit the wall hard.
And it looks like if we take a look, as I just caught it on the live stream as we were talking about that, Kyle Riley looped it in turn 1 on the inside of Bailey. So kudos to our director, Mr. Jake Hixon, catching that one and catching us sleeping as we missed that wreck in turn 1.
Yeah, they tell me this the Jake's professional, and he's definitely making the statement a true fact here tonight. He's been doing a great job. Very proud of the work that he's been doing for us here tonight.
As he's never broadcasted a racing event, first time, and not doing a bad job. As a couple graphics might be a little askew, but like we've mentioned about 4 times, and I'm going to mention it every 10 laps. I'm throwing a little shade at Mr. Dylan Livengood.
I was gonna say.
I called him yesterday, and I said, okay, what are we doing for Phoenix? He said, oh, we're going to do it. We're going to be live. We're going to do it. He calls me like 3 hours ago, and he's like, oh, by the way, we're not going to be live. I'm like, well, this isn't going to be a thing. So here we are.
Here we are.
You're doing a great job. I appreciate you hanging out. It's been a great evening so far here in Avondale, Arizona, as Dylan Poteet leads the field on pit lane. It's just Solstice. I mean, Solstice has such great racing with 10 to 15 cars. I've never understood it.
Yeah, it's sometimes you'd like to see a little more of it, but honestly, if the racing's this good with these guys, I just want to see these guys every week because they're putting on a hell of a show week in and week out, and it's been so much fun to follow closely and be a part of the broadcast team for the last half of last year and coming into this season looking to do some new things.
The Poteet, Mercurio, Cosman, Stanley, Bailey, Frisch, Micus, Riley, Poulin, Smith, Baker. That's the field. Wetz on pit lane. We started with 13. We now have 12 as Cole DeRozier has had a dismal beginning to this season. We know the 23, and I don't understand why, because we know DeRozier's fast, but he has had such horrid luck, whether it's last season or this season. Not good for the 23 team.
Yeah, honestly, it's been pretty much a lot of the Lambert Motorsports Technology team here. They've, Lambert didn't have a lot of luck last year. Dylan didn't have a lot of luck. Dylan, luckily got the month back and got that first win back in a long time last week. But it seems like the bad luck bug is back.
Green flag in Avondale. Poteet leads Mercurio as we begin lap 46, edging closer to halfway. And Mercurio, I've been incredibly impressed with him. He deputized for Dylan Smith last season in Lexington, Ohio. I've mentioned how he randomly won a NASA Rallycross race 7 years ago and then disappeared. This guy is stupid fast.
Yeah, really, really fast. Way to show up. Show him that you deserve to be here and you're not just a one-off guy.
Really quick, Dylan, hate to interrupt you. Cosman washed up the hill in turn 4. They were 3 wide as Jeremy Stanley nearly makes contact with him. He came up. He was not clear. They nearly wadded it up, and it's a hornet's nest from 4th on back.
Yeah, it looked like Cosman had to get on the brakes a little bit. The 33 slowed down a little more abruptly than he'd anticipated, and he kind of locked up the front, trying not to get into the back of him, and it stacked him up, and once again led to some mayhem in the middle of the field.
3 wide, Kyle Riley, Chad Micus, Stanley backs up turns 3 and 4 in front of Frisch, and Micus, once again, this is not NASA Rallycross yet. You should not have to drift in a stock car, but great save for the Chicago native. As Poteet holds off Mercurio, Bailey, Cosman, and Stanley.
Oh, Bailey goes around! Oh no, what happened?
And one of the championship favorites from last season into the fence. happened, but it's just snapped into the wall.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't look like he got sideways at all. The car just snapped right. I wonder if it wasn't something mechanical. Although it looks like it's running okay now that he's trying to get back up to speed. But that was a freak thing. That car just bit to the right.
Battle for the lead. It's Dylan Poteet and Brian Mercurio. Mercurio on the inside, driving for Adam Kodal and Dylan Poteet. As we lost Kyle Riley in the 77, spun it in turns 1 and 2. Still no caution. That was a hornet's nest for that long period of time. As Poteet battles Mercurio. Let's see if I can look on my monitor and see they were 3 wide for the longest period of time. And Riley washed up the hill, caught Frisch's left rear quarter panel, and spun it in the 77. As Frisch battling with the 60 of Jeremy Stanley side by side, exiting turn 4. And battle for the lead again. Mercurio on the inside of Poteet in the 31. And Mercurio to the lead.
Yeah, finally gets it done there. Was kind of battling there and closing the gap for the last couple laps, knocking on the door. Able to get it done there. Interesting to see if the 31 will make another run back at him or if they'll just settle in and run for a little while here. Should be
Really
coming up.
worried that I lost you there for a moment.
I was flipping through, just checking out some of the mid racing. I didn't want to interrupt you because I knew you were kind of talking about different stuff, and I was kind of bounced. I wasn't 100% sure. I was watching the same action the whole time about that. I'm definitely here.
As Kyle Riley in the 77, I think something broke when he spun that car as he has pulled it off the track. He has our second retirement. We are left with 11 cars, 10 of which are on the lead lap. Nick Baker's had a horrible race so far in the 9, so he is 4 laps down.
Yeah, props to him though for sticking it out and making sure he gets that deep time on that new steering setup that he has going on. You know, got to get those laps in to get your comfortability back up.
What's interesting is Mercurio leads Poteet. These two are pulling away. They're faster than the rest of the field. And look who is sneaking his way back into the picture. Dylan Smith, after spinning 3 times in a row, is back battling in the top 5.
Yeah, amazing effort to see him. You know, way to stick with it and rebound. Very happy for Dylan. Hopefully, continue to work his way back up there. That car was super fast in the beginning. Would hate to see him go out like that. Would definitely like to see him up here mixing it up with these guys towards the end of the run.
As Mercurio still leads Poteet. The gap, if we'll update you, from Mercurio to Poteet, 0.17. Then it's 0.169, or sorry, 1.69 from Mercurio to Cosman in the 24. It's 1.7 seconds for Mercurio to third place Cosman.
Now I'm just gonna put my my Larry Mack cap on. That's his trademark. Just I'm thinking about the math here, and in
Brad
about the next.
Micus in the
Oh no.
25. He did not save it, and he hits the tire wall in front of Bailey, and Bailey gets in a wreck again. Caution is out.
Oh, massive contact. Horrible accident.
As Micus, you were just talking strategy, and what is the commentator's curse is a thing, and we were just talking strategy, and Joey Bailey, horrible luck today.
Yeah, it's just oh man, you know we talk about him every time because he's been such a fast guy. Every time he shows up week in and week out, and these guys a run for their money, and you know try to focus on him tonight. And the bad luck, it seems like it's really coming for everybody tonight. Nobody's safe. I think maybe the 33 car here put a little voodoo magic on these boys.
As we take a look at pit stops here in Phoenix, Mercurio, Poteet, Cosman, Dylan Smith, and Jeremy Stanley, the top 5. As we come down to pit, let's see if 4 tires, if there's going to be a change of strategy, or just going to be more the norm.
Well, the math that I was doing, which is now going to be slightly skewed, um, it may not be quite in the range here, but if somebody can come down and top off, or if we get another quick yellow, these guys are going to be into the window where we saw Cosman and Wet switch the fuel on that initial run. So keep an eye on maybe somebody trying to mix up the running order like earlier and get themselves a steal here in Phoenix.
As Mercurio, Poteet, Smith, Cosman, Stanley. That's how they exit pit lane. So it looks like no strategy is being played yet, at least.
No, I feel like now is a little early. Everything's going to be sticking if we get another caution here in the next 10 laps, I'd say that's when we'll probably see some of the major moves. Because those guys are going to try and stretch it. These guys are, you know, going to take the fresh tires, start in the back and see what they can do with it.
Mercurio, Pote, Dylan Smith, Cosman, Stanley, Frisch, Wetz, Bailey. They were able to fix that car in the 51, so if Bailey can get a good run of momentum going, I think this is going to be huge for him.
Yeah, if that car can still maintain at least enough speed to be slightly competitive, it's gonna be awesome for them. It's really unfortunate, but he might be lucky that that car might not be as badly hurt as possible.
Beginning lap 58, green flag, Mercurio and Pote once again. And Pote got a terrible start, so did Poulin in the back of the shot there in the 21. Bailey on the inside, trying to make something happen already. Into turn one, as Cosman nearly hits the 31 of Pote. Poulin on the inside of Bailey, exiting turn two.
Are you sure we're not at Charlotte this week? It's starting to look like the All-Star race package on restarts. These guys are tearing it up on green flags.
Dylan Smith loose through 3 and 4, but he gets the job done as he holds the spot trying to battle Pote. Every time someone cuts the dog leg, I'm having an anxiety attack. Hopefully they don't wad it up in turn one.
Yeah, I'm the same way. These guys are really aggressive, and some of these cuts
Bailey
on and
doing
off.
the same thing we talked about. A groove and a half under the yellow line trying to get something done.
Yeah, he's not afraid. All this bad luck, stray accidents, losing the car, none of that has phased him. He's got one thing on his mind, and that's getting checkered flag here tonight.
They got to make something happen. Mercurio, we know, doesn't run the full season unless something dramatically changes because he potentially wins this race, but we know he deputizes randomly as a substitute. The one that's going to benefit from this is Pote. Yes, you are not in if you win in the playoffs. It's not like the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, but if you win, you've probably got a decent amount of momentum. So these guys want to win. Dylan Smith wants to make it 2 in a row and prove to these guys, yes, I can win on something that's not just a restrictor plate track. But Mercurio is pulling away 0.6 of a second.
And what a statement it would be if Dylan Smith were able to get it done here tonight. To have that, great performance last week, come in here tonight, be fast, have that string of bad luck in the middle of the race, and then if we were able to come back and get the win, the amount of momentum and fortitude that team showed would be something that a lot of these guys will probably really have to worry about, especially getting into a playoff run.
Smith to the inside of Pote.
Cosman looking to make it too wide, backs off instead.
The gap is 0.7 of a second, 7.5 for Mercurio to Pote, and he's pulling away. This battle is not helping them.
No, not at all. But one person it is happening is Brandon Stanley, who had lost a little bit of momentum and a few positions on the restart, now finally getting himself back up into the top five, aiming to make a run at these guys.
And it's interesting, these guys get loose in the middle of the corner, unless that's just Dylan Smith's driving. But they get loose right in the middle of the corner, and they power out of the corner. We did have a race format change, nothing serious. The race has been extended from 93 laps to 97 laps. As they still have one pit stop remaining, as race controls let me know. And we do run to lap 97, so unlike last week where they kept wadding it up and under caution, these guys are going so quick they're going to lengthen the race. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, definitely something different that you don't see a lot of these places do. But Solstice can see that they got an exciting product going on here, and they want to give the fans everything that they want and more. So they're going to give us a couple more laps here in the stretch.
As average than him, it was 0.03 of a second. Baker in the wall in front of them, and he's getting closer. Unless Mercurio's babying his stuff for the strategy.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to take care of it and extend this one a little bit more, and maybe make a quick top off for fuel and try and stretch to the end. Or maybe even take some tires so he can wear everything out yet. It looks like Dylan Smith's starting to fall off his shoulder here.
Mercurio, Pote, Dylan Smith,
Now,
Cosman
who's
to the
that creeping in the
inside.
picture there? Joey Bailey on the inside, back in the picture.
And we talked about that a couple minutes ago. We know that he's determined after somehow ending up in the fence. Let's look at
Yeah,
the gap from the leader. Mercurio leads Pote, 30 laps to go here in Phoenix.
yeah, and the lead gap has kind of stabilized, it seems like. It fluctuates up a little bit one lap down the next. Not really anybody getting away from anybody, but nobody really gaining on anybody either. 31's got to figure out something he can do to make this roundup.
He's actually lost half a tenth. So the gap is stabilized, like you mentioned. This is not good for Pote, though. Pote was half a second slower than Mercurio the last time around. Half a tenth, rather. Gap is stabilized. Cosman was the fastest out of the top 5. He ran a .271 when the leaders are .380 and .346.
31 had a little bobble in the middle of 3 and 4 there, and Cosman's going to eat him up, or old 3 and 4, excuse me. So Cosman's going to eat him up going into the current 3 and 4.
And Cosman to second. And now will
Nice shot
Poteet
up
be able to battle with him?
Cosman got the new Stanley Pace car, running a beautiful car. Just shout out to those guys over in the Flash Video Graphics department.
As Poteet, I think he overran his stuff because he is falling in the clutches of Jeremy Stanley, Dylan Smith, and Joey Bailey.
Makes you wonder if he was maybe trying a little too hard to catch 33.
And Mercurio has had a cruise so far today. Lap number 70 beginning. The gap is 1.4 seconds from Mercurio to Cosman.
And other than the leader pulling away, the rest of it has been relatively even. Like we were talking about, nobody was really happy with the way their cars were handling the track this week. Things might have been a little different than everybody was expecting, but the rest of the field is pretty stacked up on top of each other, other than Mercurio taking the lead.
As Frisch getting close to Bailey, as these guys are. This is our field. As remember, we have 9 cars.
210.
9 cars on the lead lap, and everybody's here under a blanket. Stanley inside of Poteet. Dylan Smith going to try and follow him. As Cosman, you just mentioned, full on Frisch. Exiting 2, gets a little loose underneath Joey Bailey, and Wetz tried to take the fight to him. Thought better of it. Let's see if Cosman can eat some more gap out of the 33 of Mercurio. Once timing and scoring refreshes, it's 1.3 seconds now.
Yeah, lost just about everything he was gaining out before that.
It's very tricky to maintain like carving into a gap at an oval because it's just, people say it's boring, but it's so hard to hit your marks consecutively in a row.
Especially
A
in a
lot of
place
laps.
like this where you got to really be, attentive. You got to make sure you hit the apron entry and exit the same way. You don't bounce the car too hard. You got to make sure you get slowed down at the exact right point on the track to hit the corner exactly the way you need to. It's a relatively flat place, pretty high speed. There's a lot of factors that go into it, and here consistency is just so hard to maintain.
As take a look and see Cosman ahead of Poteet. Cosman has migrated to running the apron in the front straightaway, in the dogleg. We haven't seen that before. He's still not going as low as everybody else, but he's still trying to take it. He is consistently slower than the 33 of Mercurio. I don't know what Mercurio has that these guys don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
Frisch pits in the 58.
This is going to be interesting. Chris is inside that window. He knows he'll be completely good even if this goes green. He should be great on fuel. He can just take care of his tires until pit cycle through and then really step on it. He might have an advantage on these guys.
The undercut in Formula One is incredibly crucial. Maybe this is what he's trying to gain this gap, because if he gets out on the new tires and he laps faster than these guys, obviously he's going to be quicker. He can gain a bunch of gap. Dylan Smith pits as well in the 1.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'd be interesting to see how many of these guys follow suit. Last time, remember, the first 2 pitted, everybody tried to come the next lap except for about 3 cars. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys play the strategy out.
Mercurio holds the lead over Cosman. Gap is 1.4 seconds still. Poteet, Stanley, Wetz, Bailey, Poulin. Exiting the pit lane is Frisch. So you do go, I believe, almost 2 laps down, making a pit stop here at the ISM Raceway.
Yeah, and the pit road, the reconfiguration, I believe it's almost the same length, maybe a little longer. Maybe that has something to do with it. But it's a different way of getting around, and it doesn't work well with these guys sitting under green.
Stanley pits in the 60. As we have a camera in turns 3 and 4,
And our
positioned
leaders coming down the
perfectly
road,
to see who
33 and
pits.
24.
As Cosman pits along with Mercurio. This leaves Poteet, Wetz, Bailey, and Poulin all battling each other, and hopefully they don't stack it up. I believe Wetz is going to pit this time in the 71. As Stanley exits the pit lane, these guys, a slow 45-mile-an-hour journey down pit lane. Stop in your box, make sure you don't...
Oh, the 31 got in trouble on that. He got stuck on the outside and was trying to pit, and the 2 cars below him were not. He had to really back out of it.
As let's look at
Looks like he might be
Frisch.
okay.
Frisch is the first car that pitted. And where is, let's see, Mercurio and Cosman have both left the pit lane. Frisch has the momentum. Can he make it stick? He's going to get by Cosman, I think. This
Gonna
is
be close
crucial.
coming off the corner.
You've got to take the warm tires over the cold tires. If he can get by Cosman, this is huge for the 58. He can't get the job done exiting 2. He's in
Cosman
a bump draft.
slides it up. Barely in front of the 58 off of the turn.
Now, it's not helping them because the 33 Mercurio is out and away from the rest of the field. But
yeah, definitely not what they wanted to see with him being
that
that
early pit stop was crucial for the 1 in the 58 to bring them closer to Cosman.
Oh, and the 1's around again. The 1 is around again. Hard into the wall.
Dylan Smith. Will this bring on a caution? We'll have to wait. Will Race Control throw it?
And they've been very, very slow to throw the caution tonight, down to let these guys get off the track. There's no debris and keep racing.
Where's Bailey? Bailey exits the pit lane. Will he be near Mercurio? He
He's
pits
on the
Cosman.
inside. He's going to lose a couple car lengths, but he's going to be really close. It's looking like he's only going to be maybe a half a second behind here. This might be the strategy he needed to get back in this.
This revitalizes everything because he is closer than Cosman ever was through 3 and 4.
He looks like he's still pretty quick. The car looks like they beat it up a little bit, got it a little more aero happy. Might be a little more fun to drive for him. Hopefully he can get up here and make this interesting.
You have to think, with the fresher tires, will Mercurio be beaten by Bailey? Bailey's got a couple lap fresher tires. We know how tires are important. He's starting to pull away.
Yeah, it just seems like he just doesn't have enough to get there. Maybe the car doesn't have quite the straightaway power that he needs.
Let's recap through the field so far. Mercurio, Joey Bailey, Cosman in 3rd. Then it's Michael Frisch, Jake Poulin, Dylan Pote, Chris Wetz. 8th spot, looks like it is Jeremy Stanley. Once we find the 60, what happens? We know how quick Jeremy Stanley is, and that's going to kill his momentum. 1.27 seconds from Mercurio to Bailey.
Yeah, he's just stretching it out 3 to 4 tenths a lap now. It's looking like, unless we get a caution here, he might just be his race for the taking.
As Dylan Smith has a lot of damage on the right side of that car. I don't think he's going to make it 2 in a row tonight. And the gap, I think, no, it grew by 2 tenths. 2 tenths exactly. As we look at the lap times, Mercurio 27.118, Bailey 27.320, Cosman at 26.9. Cosman is on fire here if he can get by
Cosman
Bailey.
Cosman is getting by Bailey and making quick work of it. This might be interesting to see if he's got enough to run the 33 down in the next week.
About 13 laps to go here in Arizona. The gap is 1.91 seconds from Brian Mercurio to Cosman. As we round the corner, caution is out.
Caution is out on the speedway. Now things get interesting, Josh. Are these guys going to pit? Are they going to stay out? What kind of strategy do you think we're going to see play out here? This is really putting them all into the hole and shaking them up here.
That's what happened. Baker was slow in the 9, and he got in the way of Jake Poulin in the 21.
Oh, terrible. So, poor Baker. Just trying to hold on and get to the end of this thing and get some lap time.
4-time ProLine champion Jake Poulin from 5th to the back of the field. And this is what these guys needed. What can they do to catch the 33 of Mercurio?
Well, I think no matter what, everybody has to pit. Especially if the 33 doesn't. You got to get every advantage you can. You got to have something. Hopefully you can get him on the restart and get a couple of you guys by him, and you can't get by all of you by the end of it. He's shown tonight that he's a flat field. He's going to be tough to get around.
As Mercurio pits along with Cosman. I don't think, if you stay out, this is not a good idea. Everybody pits here on
Question
lap
I think is,
86.
does anybody take 2 and try to get out and maybe just see if track position is king here tonight? Maybe the 33, if he gets back, a couple cars can't get it done. Maybe somebody takes 2. I know one thing for sure. We're probably going to see Joey Bailey about a lane and a half below the yellow line in 1 and 2.
You've got to, I mean, at this point, with it coming down to this close to the end, this is something where you have to make sure that you gun it on the restart. I would almost say time the restart. Hit the restart zone, just be in about 2nd gear, be close to your rev band, hit the gas, get the bike, go. I mean, you have to get
Yeah,
it done. You have to figure it out,
yeah,
because if Mercurio does get a good start, he's gone, done, sold, race is
yeah.
over.
He's shown time and time again, if he gets a good hot start, he's out of there, and you're gonna have to hope that he slips his tires or something. Doesn't look like we have much of a shakeup in the order. Everybody comes out right about where they went in.
Mercurio, Cosman, Bailey, Frisch, Poteet, Wetz, Stanley, Dylan Smith, Jake Poulin. As Nick Baker in the 9 in the 10th position. 3 retirements so far tonight. Chad Mikas, who plowed the pit lane entry. Kyle Riley, who looped it in turns 1 and 2. And Cole DeRozier has had an awful night all night. While we are closing in on the final 10 laps, I hope you enjoyed today's coverage here on the Automotive Sports Network. Once again, last time I have to do this, but we are over here tonight, so due to our HVMP colleagues not having the best of project planning, hopefully we will be back on High Voltage Media Productions next week. But if it ever were to happen, tune in here. You'll get our backup coverage going. Dylan Body, Josh Mertz in the commentary box as we go green. 10 to go in Avondale, Arizona. And Cosman got a terrible restart.
33 got a great one, but Joey Bailey got a good restart too, and let's see what he can do here on this. He's gonna drive it in deep.
He's got to make it stick. You have to get something done on the restart. Half a car length from Mercurio to Bailey. Make it 1, make it half, make it nearly 2 now on the back straightaway.
And Cosman making it stick on the outside here, definitely not making it any easier for them to run down that 33 car out front. Maybe it's time for them to just let it go and try to run him down before they worry about mixing it up.
As 0.36 of a second. 3.5 tenths for Mercurio to Bailey. Mercurio is faster on that restart. Cosman got a terrible run. They're side by side for second. Bailey and Cosman. Into 3. Cosman dives it in. Got to make something happen.
Oh, he got loose. He got loose. He's going to slide up, and the 51's going to go right back around him.
As Mercurio pulls away again. Fastest lap of the race was just ran by Brian Mercurio. 26.821. Fastest man on the circuit all night long.
Yeah,
That'll
even
just
in
tell you.
practice, nobody came close to that.
That just tells you that the 33 is not playing games with these guys.
Yeah, no, definitely. He showed up here to make a statement tonight, and he's making it.
As Bailey on the inside, nearly near the pit wall there, in the 51. As Mercurio pulling away 0.77 of a second. That's a tongue twister from him to Cosman.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like anybody's going to have anything for him, even if we get another restart. He's shown tonight that he's been consistent, no mistakes. Came out here, do a job, and he's been doing it.
It's Cosman, Dylan Smith, Bailey, Frisch, Poteet. Frisch on the inside of Bailey. Bailey has faded in the 51. Granted, faded equals 4th from 2nd, but still he's faded from where he restarted. Frisch has had a quiet race in the 58 for the defending champion. I'm very concerned, potentially. Granted, it's only 2 races in, but we've talked about how difficult it is to defend a championship in the 58. Not having a good night tonight.
Yeah, sorry for the delay there. I'm coming out with a little bit of a bug. I didn't want to cue the mic up and cough there, but yeah, it's strange to see him marred in mid-pack, especially consistently for a whole night. And to start the season off like this is not promising. Makes you wonder if
As
58 is going to be okay.
Mercurio ahead of Cosman. 4 to go in Arizona. And every once in a while, you get this driver that comes in, doesn't run a full season, just dominates and leaves. And right now, that's Brian Mercurio. And he is 1.1 seconds clear of his competition, Cosman Ionescu, in car number 24. Then it's Dylan Smith, pole sitter, who has been literally every single spot in this race that I wouldn't doubt. Set on pole position, spun it 3 times entering the pit lane, and now is in 3rd.
Yeah, nearly. I believe he was 2 laps down at one point. I mean, it's been an up and down. It's been a roller coaster of a night. But great to see him fight through it and rebound and get the car back up front where it belongs.
As Mercurio enters turn 3 and exits turn 4, there's 2 miles left, 2 laps to go for the super sub, I'd have to call him, as he had a hell of a run for Dylan Smith in Lexington, Ohio last season. And here he is for Adam Kodal, and trying to pull away in win this race.
Yeah, the deputy is back in town, folks.
Cosman second, Dylan Smith third, Poole in fourth, Frisch in fifth. I don't think they're going to have anything for him. There's still one lap to go here in Phoenix, but Brian Mercurio has put on a clinic.
Yeah, we talked all night about how he was hard to find here, but Brian found his tonight, and you can see how much of a difference it makes if you can find a way to get around this place.
Off of turn two, down the back straightaway, Brian Mercurio. We don't have our lap count tonight due to the different coverage, but I'm 900% sure he led most of the laps. He comes off the final corner and wins in Phoenix ahead of Cosman, Dylan Smith, and Frisch beats Poulin at the line for fourth.
Yeah, what a great little battle in the back. That was fun. Amazing run by the 33 guys tonight. Hopefully we see that car out here. If that team's got that kind of performance, they need to at least put somebody in that car and make that thing run some more because it's fun to watch.
As we'll let him celebrate here in just a moment, and then we'll bring him in. But what a race! I mean, it was just so strange to see him get so much more pace than the rest of the field.
Yeah, just immensely faster than everybody. Something I've never seen. I mean, I've seen people be faster and considerably faster, but never at a place like this and in such a dominating fashion.
As let's bring in our race winner.
User was moved to your channel.
As Mr. Brian Mercurio, there must have been a lucky horseshoe somewhere because you were stupid fast compared to the rest of the field.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I just felt like in the beginning of the race, wasn't too sure how my pace would be. I knew there were some fast guys like Jeremy, Cosman, and Baadte. Once I saw what other guys were running, especially how they were running, mostly Baadte, kind of how he was driving through the corner, especially 3 and 4, old 1 and 2, where he was maximizing a lot of the exit speed. I wasn't doing that at first, and I feel like once I picked that up, it was pretty much GG.
Yeah, once you got a hold of the car, it just seemed like you had the most car in the corner and definitely the most speed off the corner out of anybody all night. And even the restarts, man, you were just consistent as he tonight.
Thanks. I know I was getting, especially in the beginning of the race, I think once we all figured out where the pace car lined up and knew we were only going to have a few seconds till the green, it kind of caught everybody off guard. And once I realized that, I feel like I was going to be pretty good on the restarts. And once I got in the lead, I just knew what I had to do. I had to wait until across the line, then I could dip below the apron there and just try and pull away from everybody.
As I know you raced last season for Dylan Smith. Is this the only scheduled start for you this season?
Funny enough, there were no scheduled starts for me, but a certain competitor by the name of Michael P. and Chris Wetz convinced me to run tonight. Thankfully, I got an old car out from Adam Kodal. Somehow managed to fit it to the specs for the season, and looks like I won. So might be making some more starts this season. We'll just have to see.
Well, hey, if you're gonna stick with running the 33 on Adam's car, I do have the updated version of the car that I had made for him. If you'd like something a little flashy to run.
Might want a different number. 33 is not my number. I usually rock the 41, but we'll figure something out by the next race for sure.
Well, cool. Definitely excited to come out here and make some more starts this year because you really put a working on these boys tonight, and I think they might need the competition over here.
Felt pretty good here when Solstice came here a few seasons ago, back when we were running the trucks. I remember I had a real good battle with me and Jelly Bailey, and I came out on top, so I knew it was going to be a similar kind of scenario tonight. I was going to be at least in contention to win, but felt really damn strong tonight.
As congratulations, my friend, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Thanks for putting on the broadcast.
User was moved out of your channel.
As looks like our camera has decided to turn off, so hopefully we'll throw up that little replay graphic there. But while we finish up here, you got any final thoughts?
Just really, really excited with the package that these guys have brought this year. Such a fast race for ISM. I mean, these guys, what average speed was still over 100 miles an hour by the end of it, I'm pretty sure. Very quick, to get back going racing when we had cautions. Just the way this season started off, man, tonight was a roller coaster ride, and I think we're gonna have a hell of a season on our hands. And for everybody that tuned in with us tonight, we hope to see you back because you're not gonna want to miss a thing this year. This action is gonna be just getting crazier and crazier as we continue on.
As from all of us here at the Automotive Sports Network, Grant, it was only a couple of us, but our first race for our new director, Jake Hixon, did a hell of a job. At least I would like to think so. Thank you, Mr. Dylan Baadte, for joining us. Hopefully you can get that more consistent schedule to join us. And next week we'll hopefully be back on High Voltage Media Productions as we begin the third race, of the season, as we will head out to the Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth, Texas. But from all of us on the Automotive Sports Network, and we'll see you next week in Texas. But until then, so long, everyone.